Elton John, Saturday Nights Alright for Fighting. This is a CVT guitar lesson for Sarah. Hi Sarah, how are you doing? Standard tuning for this? What a classic, huh? Sarah, the one student of mine that always throws in the curveballs. I love it. I love it. So this is 3 pages, standard tuning. There's 2 guitars and they complement each other pretty nicely. So this is what I consider the primary. Barred 12th fret, D, G, and B. And you're going to hammer to 14 G and 13 B. So make sure, you know, people struggle sometimes when they have to hammer on chords. You know, they may be okay with 1 string. So make sure you get the volume. You're going to hammer and then strum it and then just lift those off and do the 12th fret bar. So it's, by the way, this is section 1A, 1 second in. Then you're going to see some double dots around the next section, and it's the same thing with an extra hit on the full chord. In other words, that'll go twice. So you would have now take that concept, we're going to move it a whole step flat. So remember, guitar moves in half steps. We're going to go back to the 10th fret. Same concept, we're going to strum D, G, and B, but hammer to 12 G, 11 B. Then strum the chord, then lift those off and do all the 10s. And then hammer again, strum and slide. Barred 5th fret, D, G, and B. Now the same concept, but the beat's a little different. Hammer to 7, 6, G, B. So after you hammer, you strum, lift up to the bar. Strum, hammer again, rest, and then back to the 5. So then I put section 1B because it's a little bit different than 1A, but it does start the same way. You'll go, and then here's our double dots. That's all the same, right? Back a whole step to the 10th fret. This is the same as section 1A. And then this is a little different. 10s to 12, 11, no hammer. Okay, that's the only difference. The 5s might be as well. Let me see. Barred 5th fret, D, G, and B. Yeah, it's a little different. You're going to strum them twice, then hammer to 7, 6, G, B. And then strum, lift, rest. So it's rest, strum, hammer, strum, lift. So that's the end of section 1B. So really a good song, Sarah, for hammering on with chords. Like I said, people do struggle with that stuff. Don't go too heavy on your gain either. I have it listed at 4 on your tabs. Of course, every amp's different, but you don't want it too saturated. Section 2 at 13 seconds is where the verse kicks in. And it's a G major. It's 10A and then barred 12th fret, D, G, and B. Now, it's kind of percussive. I believe they're all downstrokes, like 1, 2. Right? So I missed it. So chord 3 times. Barely relieve the pressure. Do a string mute, top 3 string, it doesn't matter how many you hit. Back to the chord with a rest, so it's... Okay, then the chord, and then 2 more hits, 2 fret hand string mutes, back to the chord. So the chord, you know, you have... That's your chord beat placement. Move the same chord a whole step flat. That gives us F major, 8, 10, 10, 10. That index, try to meet string 6, right? From there, that's the same exact rhythm as the G chord. So your beat is Those mutes they're real subtle. If you have to take them out, but make sure your chord hits are in the right place. We're going to move up to an 8th position C major, starting on string 6. It's 8, 10, 10, 9. You know this chord. You go chord, 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 same thing. Drop down to that F for one hit. So I think one's going like doing the blues thing, but just drop the chord down because, like I said, the guitars aren't playing the same thing. Back to the C. That'll ring, you'll hit it again and go back to F. So it's right back to the C. So to the back to the G major. Okay, and that's the same as the first time we did it. Double dots are on the whole grouping of section 2, which gives you section 2 2 times. Okay, so page 3, barely fitted on page 3. Oh yeah, this is cool. At 39 seconds in, we've got this build up off of a D minor 7, and then later on, there's a high C note in it. But bar the 5th fret, strings 5 through 1. I don't know if you know this chord. 7D and 6B. Make sure you're not muting this 5 that we're utilizing the bar for. Try to mute string 6. And they're straight 16th notes. You'll go. So 8 times. And add the pinky to the 8th fret on the high E. Section 4A at 42 seconds. The guitar gets kind of buried here in this version, but it is there. And once again, there's 2 parts. This is what I considered the main one now. It's kind of the old Chuck Berry style thing. So. Bar the 6th fret, last 2 strings, slide to the 8th fret, strum them 3 times. Double dots times 4. From there, this is cool, way up the neck. From the D string down, 15, 17, 16, and you'll go straight 16th notes on that, so it's going to be 16 times. Here's your notes. Oh no, my bad. Sorry, Sarah. So you're going to want to bar the 15th fret, go 15, 17, 16 twice, and then lift these 2 fingers off to where it's all 15s twice, and then double dots times 4. 15G, which are already there, just we don't want to bar, and 16B, slide it a whole step sharp to 17, 18, and you're going to go. This is like the first part, section 4A. Strum a whole step, and then 3 times after that, and that's double dots times 4. Okay. And if it's seeming overkill because it's a little hard to hear, you can maybe every other. Sounds like Revolution from the Beatles. And then 10G, 11B, and we're going to slide that a whole step up and do the same concept. Strum it and then 3 strums, double dots times 4. So you're coming off. So we have. Kind of tricky to do fast, you know, because it's 16th notes. So once you're strumming, you keep going. That whole section is twice. Then we have hit section 4B, and this is a different way to play a G major chord. I don't know if you know it. It's really cool. Barred 3rd fret, E and B, 5A, 5D. Keep those knuckles up, and play all the strings except for low E. So you'll go. And then 5, 3, 4 DGB, bar the 3rd fret ahead of time on the D, G, and B, and you're going to go. So it's. So strum, lift up to the 3s, and then go right back down and do the strum and then lift to 5 D, G. So 7, 5, 6 D, G, and B. Bar the 5th fret behind it, and go. So. These are the Kiss chords, or the Rolling Stone chords. So, 2 mutes, basically D through E. Back to the barred 5. It's a good subgroup, right? Right there. Okay, there'll be a rest. Another mute, right back to the 5s, and then we can subgroup all that. Okay, and then the next part, mute, the barred 5s, hammering right back down to 7 and 6, D and B. Back to 5. Okay, 10th fret, D, A, barred 12th fret, D, G, and B. This is that G major chord. Do a triplet, down, up, down, twice. And then 5, 7, it's going to be a D, F, G, you'll go. So it's the same chord shape, but 5th fret for the root on the A, and then 7, 7, 7. Move it up a step and a half sharp to 8, 10, 10, 10. And right back to the G, triplets, 3 times. And then this time, I'm hearing it as a minor. 5th fret A, bar everything, down below it, 7, 7, D, G, 6, B. You'll strum it. Move that up to the F chord, 8, 10, 10, 10. And then back to the... And that's it for that section. Everything else, Sarah, is a repeat. And there are lots of them. And that kicks in at 120, and then 213, 248, and 422, which is section 1A. And they just fade that out, right? That's the... Oops. So, great songs, Sarah. You always pick great songs. You should be good to go. Let me edit this and get this live for you and get these tabs into you.